energy is the Four of Swords. And so, it's been a week that probably was busy with a lot of social interactions because there were a lot of court cards this week. And even though we had the Five of Swords, there were no major cards, which says that despite appearances, you actually had a lot of power to pull the strings this week. So you may be a little bit exhausted and in need of a rest, and some of you may be under the weather. Maybe you're recuperating from some kind of illness, or maybe you're visiting someone in the hospital. So it's a period that gives you a break. It could be a welcome break. Maybe you're quietly preparing for the next phase of something, or maybe you're reconsidering your position. So you're spending some time alone to gather yourself, to regroup. This may be a slow period for you, slow period in business or your social interactions. Maybe you're withdrawing from others because you need some relief from the stress that you've been under. So you're doing some introspection. So there's probably not a lot going on today, not a lot of activity, not a lot of communication. And again, you may like it that way. Others of you, maybe you're on a break, like a vacation somewhere. So you're trying to decide what your next move is. And something is going to happen perhaps shortly that either rejuvenates you or restores you, or maybe jeopardizes your security and your motivation. So you've recently ended some kind of process. Now, some of you, maybe this is a transition that is not a welcome break. Maybe you're striking, or you've been exiled for some kind of reason. Could have been tension with others or family dissension, and now you feel like you're the outcast, or there's an unwelcome guest in your midst. Something, is causing you to have to regroup. And you have to avoid the temptation to take something to the extreme. Either you're trying to do too much or too little is being done. So this is a day where you've reached some kind of plateau, and maybe things are at a standstill. So if you don't get ahead of yourself, this may be a good pause. It may serve a useful purpose. And if you feel comfortable about where you are, you feel happy in your own skin, just because, there's a standstill or things are staying at the status quo, you're not necessarily jumping to conclusions or coming up with worst case scenarios because you haven't heard from someone or because there hasn't been movement in a matter. But some of you, there are too many things hanging in limbo, too many loose ends that haven't been taken care of, and there's not any movement. And maybe it's because you're not really addressing a situation, you're trying to wish a problem away, or you still think you're going to save something or resurrect something that's actually a dead issue. And so you're denying the truth or the facts of a situation, and that's making things worse rather than helping. So it's a day where maybe you don't have a lot of options to choose from. In some cases, you're waiting because you're expecting someone to show up and say certain things. You want an apology, or you want a detailed explanation about why A, B, and C occurred. And so, you're holding steady until you receive that. So, by the same token, though, if there's some infraction that you have caused, or you were the one stepping on toes, you may not want to talk about that. You may want to just quietly sweep that under the rug and let's just go on like that never happened. So it's a day where refusing to confront something in a timely manner is going to complicate it, and it's going to put some other things in jeopardy. So there's kind of a domino effect. If you don't address something that is urgently in need of your attention, then it's going to snowball into other areas. So today is a day where either nothing is going on, and that's the way it should be so that you can recover, recharge, recuperate, or nothing is going on because you are sticking your head in the sand.